Let's get straight to the point there. You're standing in a windowless room in Langley, watching a man you've never met die on a grainy video feed. The timestamp says it happened 3 hours ago in a city you can't pronounce. Your supervisor doesn't look up from his coffee. That's what happens when assets get chatty, he says. Write the report, make it clean. You've been here 6 weeks. This is your first body. It won't be your last. But before you understand how you got here, you need to understand who you were. 26 years old, Georgetown graduate, fluent in Arabic and Farsi, student debt that makes your stomach hurt. You applied to the agency the way other people apply to Google, because the benefits are good and the work sounds important. You passed the polygraph. You passed the background check. You passed the psychological evaluation, which is ironic considering what comes next. They tell you it's about protecting America. They show you the threats, real ones, terrifying ones. They make you feel like you're standing between civilization and chaos. And maybe you are. That's the thing that makes it all so easy to swallow. Your first assignment is translation work, intercepted communications. You sit in a cubicle and turn Arabic conversations into English reports. Most of it is boring. Some of it is horrifying. You learn that terror sounds mundane in its planning stages. Grocery lists of death. Someone talks about picking up his daughter from school, then discusses which cafe to bomb. You flag it. The cafe never explodes. You feel good about that. Then they move you to analysis, pattern recognition. You're good at it, better than good. You see connections other people miss. A bank transfer in Dubai, a phone call in Berlin, a name that appears twice in 6 months. You write a report. 3 weeks later, a drone strike levels a compound in Yemen. Your supervisor tells you that you saved lives. He doesn't mention the lives you ended. That's not part of the performance review. The promotion comes fast. Counter-terrorism division. Real operational support. You're not just translating anymore. You're helping plan. Target packages, asset recruitment, intelligence gathering. The language changes. You don't say kidnapping. You say extraordinary rendition. You don't say torture, you say enhanced interrogation. It's not lying, it's precision. Words matter in this business. Your first field deployment is to a black site in Eastern Europe. You're there to translate during an interrogation. The asset is a mid-level facilitator who knows names. Your job is simple. Make sure nothing gets lost in translation. The interrogator is professional, polite even. He explains what's going to happen before it happens. The asset screams in Arabic. You translate it to English. He says he doesn't know anything. The interrogator nods. Tell him we'll continue until his memory improves. Something breaks inside you during hour 4. Not dramatically. Not like in the movies. It's quieter than that. A small voice that used to object just stops talking. You keep translating. The asset gives up names. Some of them are real. Some of them are probably invented to make it stop. You'll never know which is which. That's not your department. You fly home. You file your report. You sleep fine. That's what surprises you most. The years blur together. A montage of morale. Compromises that stop feeling like compromises. You recruit assets who don't understand they're being recruited. You authorize surveillance on American citizens, which is technically illegal but operationally necessary. You learn that the law is more of a guideline when national security is involved. You learn that national security can mean almost anything if you frame it correctly. By 30, you're running operations. You have a team. You have a budget. You have the authority to make decisions that end lives, and you exercise that authority with the casual efficiency of someone ordering lunch. A suspected terrorist in Frankfurt? Rendition? A journalist getting too close to a classified program? Surveillance and character assassination? An asset who's outlived his usefulness? Well, accidents happen. You're good at your job. That's the problem. The operation that changes everything starts like any other. Intelligence suggests a high-value target is meeting with an Iranian operative in Istanbul. Your asset confirms it. The target package is clean. The legal authorization is signed. The drone is in position. You're in the operations center, watching the feed. The building is in a residential neighborhood, but the risk assessment is acceptable. Acceptable? That's the word you use. You give the order. The missile hits at 3:47 a.m. local time. The building collapses in a bloom of thermal imagery. You confirm the kill. You file the report. You go home. The news breaks 3 days later. The high-value target wasn't there. He'd changed locations at the last minute. Your asset had bad intelligence, or was playing both sides. You'll never know, because he disappears before you can ask. What was in the building? A family? Parents? 4 children? The youngest was 2. The agency's response is immediate and well practiced. The operation is classified. The report is sealed. A statement is prepared for internal use only. Regrettable intelligence failure. Acceptable losses given the operational context. Your supervisor calls you in. You expect consequences. Instead, he tells you that you followed protocol perfectly. This is the job, he says. If you can't handle it, there's the door. You don't take the door. Here's what they don't tell you in recruitment. The guilt fades faster than you'd think. Not because you're a monster, because the alternative is madness. You can't carry the weight of every decision and still function. So you develop what the agency psychologists call operational compartmentalisation. You develop what normal people call sociopathy. You keep working. You run more operations. Some succeed, some fail. People die in both scenarios. You stop counting. The promotions keep coming. By 35, you're senior operations officer. You have access to programs that don't officially exist. You've read files that would end presidencies. You know things that would shatter the comfortable illusions that let normal people sleep at night. And the most ironic part, you still believe you're doing the right thing. Not in some naive, flag-waving way, but in the cold arithmetic of necessary evil. Someone has to make these decisions. Someone has to carry this weight. Better you than someone who'd hesitate. Better you than someone who'd let emotion compromise operational effectiveness. You're at a cafe in Georgetown when you see her. Early 20s, bright-eyed. She's reading a book about intelligence history, making notes in the margins. She has that look, the one you used to have, the one that says she believes in something. She notices you noticing. Smiles. Sorry, I'm a total nerd about this stuff. I'm actually applying to the agency. You should warn her. You should tell her what it costs. You should explain that the person she is now will not be the person she becomes. But you don't. Instead, you smile back. That's great. They're lucky to have people like you. Any advice? She asks. You think about the bodies, the lies, the slow erosion of everything you thought you believed. The way you've learned to sleep through anything. The fact that you're sitting here, looking at this kid and feeling nothing but a vague sense of cyclical inevitability. Pass the polygraph, you tell her. The rest is easy. She thanks you. She goes back to her book. You finish your coffee and leave. That night, you're back in the operations center. New target, new country, same moral calculus. Your analyst briefs you on the intelligence. Your lawyer confirms the authorization. Your drone pilot awaits your order. You give it without hesitation. The missile launches. The screen blooms white. The target is eliminated. You file the report. You go home. You sleep fine. That's what surprises you most. After everything, after all the bodies, all the lies, all the slow murder of whoever you used to be, you still sleep fine. You're not a monster. That's what you tell yourself. You're just someone who understands that the world runs on hard choices and harder men. Someone has to stand between civilization and chaos. Someone has to do the things that let other people maintain their comfortable morality. But here's the thing you've learned. The thing they never put in the recruitment materials. There's no meaningful difference between being a monster and being someone who does monstrous things for good reasons. The bodies don't care about your intentions. The families don't care about your operational necessity. History doesn't care about your compartmentalisation. You're 40 now. Senior executive service. You brief senators, you advise presidents, you run programs that span continents. You have the power to end lives with a phone call, and you exercise that power with the casual efficiency of someone who's done it 1,000 times before. Sometimes late at night, you think about that kid in the cafe. You wonder if she made it through recruitment. You wonder if she's sitting in some operations centre right now, giving orders that will haunt someone else's dreams. You wonder if she still believes she's doing the right thing. You wonder if you ever really did. But morning comes. The threats are real. The work continues. Someone has to make these decisions. And you've learnt that the only thing worse than carrying this weight is putting it down and watching what happens next. So you don't put it down. You go to the office, you read the briefings, you authorise the operations, you file the reports, you attend the meetings where everyone speaks, in euphemisms because the truth is too ugly for direct language. And when the new recruits arrive, bright-eyed and believing, you welcome them with a smile. You tell them they're doing important work. You tell them they're protecting America. You tell them all the things you were told, back when you were someone else. You don't tell them about the bodies. They'll learn that soon enough. Let's get straight to the point. You joined the CIA to protect people. Now you're the thing people need protection from. The transformation wasn't dramatic. There was no single moment where you became the villain. Just 1,000 small compromises, each one justified, each one necessary, each one easier than the last. You're standing in a windowless room in Langley, watching a man you've never met die on a grainy video feed. Your junior analyst looks shaken. It's her first body. You don't look up from your coffee. That's what happens when assets get chatty, you say. Write the report, make it. Clean, she nods. She'll learn. They always do. The cycle continues. It always does.